will send Topuria back to top 15 pound for pound. For me, it's easier to fight Topuria than Oliveira.
Wait,
for my
I
style.
don't understand that though. I don't understand that, Arman. Like, how can you say that?
Because I like to take down people, you know. When you take down Charles Oliveira, he still can like choke you or some like do some mission.
You almost had
but
you. You almost had
yeah, but Topuria is gonna try to get up, and then you can like just go like 1,000 times to take him down because there is no problems on the ground.
Well, that Bryce Mitchell fight that you were speaking about, he won that fight by submission.
Maybe he's a good guy, but not the best fighter.
Understand how anyone in this weight class can say that they should get a title shot over Arman Tsarukyan. He was the #1 contender for the last year. He was in line to fight for the belt in Los Angeles, and then it didn't happen. It was because his back went out, right? Some people were saying it was a weight issue. Well, today he stepped on the scale as a backup fighter and looked in phenomenal shape. It just feels like Arman Tsarukyan should be next to fight for the championship.
Arman Tsarukyan just gave Ilia Topuria a strong warning before they are likely to fight. Additionally, Arman Tsarukyan has made it clear that he is sure of his ability to beat Ilia Topuria. He thinks that his whole arsenal and strong wrestling will be enough to stop Ilia. Arman wants to show that Ilia isn't getting nearly as much attention as he really is, and that he works at a much higher level.
Curious, tell us more about how you see a matchup with Topuria playing out.
I'm just take him down and hold him and just maul him, and I just finish him on the ground. He's not gonna able to escape from me.
The wrestling and the takedowns are the key then.
Yeah, and my kicks, my wrestling, my ground and pound, and my strengths. Boxing, he's good on one thing, on the boxing, but me, wrestling, kicks, ground and pound, and like a control time.
So the more well-rounded fighter you believe is
I mean,
yourself.
4 versus 1, who's gonna win? I mean,
Sure.
if you're not gonna stay on his boxing distance, how he's gonna beat you? I don't know.
Arman Tsarukyan outlined his probable battle with Ilia Topuria and stated that he will not count on a single plan. He's going to punch, kick, and wrestle Ilia to keep her off balance. Arman thinks that this combo will confuse Ilia and show who really has the better octagon skills.
I'm just can't wait to go there and to show like who is the Arman Tsarukyan and why I'm #1 contender, and that day I'm gonna be a world champion. So it's not just the wrestling. I'm a well-rounded fighter, and I'm not gonna just try to wrestle him. I'm gonna strike him. I'm gonna kick him. I'm gonna up kick him, and like try to do. But yeah, obviously I'm not gonna try to box him. I'm gonna try to do like a real MMA fight, to show him wrestling, to punch him wrestling, to show him wrestling, to kick him, and like clinch.
Daniel Cormier strongly backed Arman Tsarukyan as the next title contender, saying that no one else in the class deserves the chance more. It's not Paddy or Geithja. Cormier thinks that Arman has already shown that he is ready and reliable, and that he has stayed on top for a good reason. In his view, Arman is the one who has actually earned the opportunity to compete for the crown.
Understand how anyone in this weight class can say that they should get a title shot over Arman Tsarukyan. He was the #1 contender for the last year. He was in line to fight for the belt in Los Angeles, and then it didn't happen. It was because his back went out, right? Some people were saying it was a weight issue. Well, today he stepped on the scale as a backup fighter and looked in phenomenal shape. It just feels like Arman Tsarukyan should be next to fight for the championship.
Demetrius Johnson stood with Cormier and chastised the UFC for passing up Arman Tsarukyan. He thinks that Arman is really the best fighter, but the UFC cares more about making money and getting attention. Demetrius referred to it as a reality show, saying that choosing combatants such as Paddy and Ilia is simply a means of selling tickets rather than rewarding quality.
Don't give it to Justin Gaethje. Give it to Arman Tsarukyan.
Who?
Give it to Arman Tsarukyan.
This guy?
No, not Paddy. That's the right. It needs to be him. Arman Tsarukyan.
What's this?
I don't know. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is why I say it's a reality TV show. It's like, obviously, Arman Tsarukyan is the #1 contender. He's ranked number 1, whatever you guys want to, go by the rankings. But they're forcing this fight with Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria just because it's probably going to sell more. But I think the rightful person who should be getting the next title shot at lightweight is Arman Tsarukyan.
Demetrius also mentioned that he does not see Ilia Topuria trying to wrestle Arman Tsarukyan at all. He expects Ilia to keep the fight standing and try for a swift finish. Ilia, he says, isn't interested in proving anything on the ground and is just concerned with finishing highlight reels.
Like, I don't think he's just going to risk going into where Arman's good just to prove a point.
No, I think he's gonna knock Arman out. I don't think he cares to wrestle with anybody. I think he's gonna get himself to the right spot and try to knock everybody out.
Demetrius Johnson also stated that he thinks Arman Tsarukyan should face Ilia Topuria next, calling him the actual top contender. However, he thinks the UFC would select Paddy Pimblett instead, since the rivalry and drama will produce more revenue. Johnson stated that the fight showed that the UFC is more about entertainment than sport, drawing comparisons to WWE.
Who is next for Ilia Topuria? Now, technically, it should be Arman Tsarukyan because he is truly the number 1 contender. But they basically forced this Paddy Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria engagement because there is beef between those guys. They have had some exchanges before outside of the octagon. But this is where I had this hot take recently this week, is that I said the UFC is not a sport. Like, they get to dictate what they want to push, the narrative of what the fans want to see, which that's not what a sport is dictated on. And it's funny because my dad and my wife, Destiny, were watching the fights. And like, what the f***? Like WWE all over again.
Din Thomas thinks Arman Tsarukyan will be the most difficult opponent for Ilia Topuria to face. He says Arman is considerably better at managing range and has more successful takedowns than Paddy Pimblett. Din added that Ilia would have no problems dealing with Paddy on the ground. Despite Arman being the tougher battle, Din thinks Paddy will get the title shot first due to his popularity and fierce rivalry with Ilia.
Who is the most likely to get the title shot?
I think Paddy is still most likely to get it right now. He's just gonna have to be fair with the number.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be. Who's best suited to be the most competitive with Topuria out of those?
Arman.
Gaethje, Paddy, or Arman?
Arman.
Din Thomas went on to say that Arman Tsarukyan is the most serious threat to Ilia Topuria. He claimed that Arman is considerably more accurate at distance, has faster takedowns, and can blend his strikes better than Paddy Pimblett. Din claimed that Arman's head kicks and scrambles would continuously cause Ilia to adjust. On the other side, he feels Paddy will struggle and may even be managed on the ground by Ilia. Din sees Arman as the main threat and the toughest task for the champion.
Arman 100%. Here's why. Paddy might kick better. They might be close in that. But I think Arman will understand the range a little better and he shoots better. I think he shoots better than Paddy. Yeah, I think Arman does the best against him just because he'll kick more high kicks and he'll use the range a little better on the outside and shoot faster.
And scramble better.
Yeah, and scramble better. Paddy will just pull guard and Ilia might even dominate him on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I thought the same thing. Well, I guess we're gonna see.
Meanwhile, Alexander Volkanovski thinks that the only way to beat Ilia Topuria is to drag him into deep water and test his gas tank. He thinks Ilia has not been properly pushed to his limits and that persistent wrestling pressure may be the secret to wearing him down and breaking him.
Tell us, so what's the strategy against a guy like Ilia? Let's say you guys run it back again.
Wrestle the bloke, mate.
You gotta get him down, right?
Down. Look, that's what you want. You want to see what's going to happen with his gas tank. So even with Ilia, great fighter. Like a lot of the things he does, like I'm sure a lot of it's well trained, and then he's got so many good instincts as well. Like even him just shifting that way, he probably trained for that. But then just as soon as he wanted to square his hips up with the right hand, the power was there and put him in a safer position while he was throwing too. So just little things like that he probably trains for, or it's just great instincts. But yeah, we want to see the gas tank, see what happens with that. Because I thought Charles, when he was taking him down and forcing the sort of wrestle and the grapple, I felt like it was starting to wear on him a little bit.
However, Arman Tsarukyan is sure that he can defeat Ilia Topuria. He forecast that the bout would be so one-sided that Ilia would tumble far down the rankings afterward. Arman thinks he can take him down repeatedly without risk and fully control him on the ground.
I'll send Topuria back to top 15 pound for pound. For me, it's easier to fight Topuria than Oliveira. And then you can just go 1,000 times to take him down, because he's not gonna try to choke you or something.
Arman has made it plain that he is unconcerned about anyone in his way. While he's focused on the title, he's eager to fight big names like Geithja or Paddy first. He sees those fights as easy money and rapid steps to the belt. Arman is confident and driven, and he's ready to show he's the actual number one.
He said that if he doesn't get a title shot, he's going to retire.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants to do, so I don't care about Gaethje, Petty. I just need to fight for the title.
Yes, there it is. You wrote. By the way, I have to say.
Yeah, if UFC say a fight with Gaethje, I'll take the fight and as soon as possible, and then fight with Ilia.
Okay, you'd be open to that.
Yeah.
What about
No
Paddy?
problem. Easy money.
Which one, Gaethje or Paddy?
Both of them.
However, Ilia Topuria mentioned in an interview that his primary target is Islam Makhachev. He does not appear to be interested in anyone else or any other event.
At some point, I was a little bit sad because I didn't want to fight against him since the beginning. My real goal always was Islam. But since he decided to run away, it has to be.
Ilia Topuria claimed that Islam Makhachev moved up to 170 to avoid fighting him. He stated that if the UFC had given Islam a fight against someone like Justin Geithja, he would have remained at lightweight. Ilia thinks Islam considers him a significant threat and is aware that he could be knocked out. He also claimed that even Khabib does not want the fight to happen, since they know he has the tools to win.
Ilia to avoid you? Is he scared to fight you?
Listen, I think that he took a great decision. If the UFC would offer him to fight against Justin Gaethje or some another contender in the division, I think that he would stay at 155. But with me coming up, he was like, I don't have to take this risk. I'm gonna move up to the 170. I'm gonna try to get another belt, and that's all, because he knows that I'm dangerous. He knows that I'm gonna put him to sleep. Even Khabib. The only reason they don't want me to fight against him, because they know that I'm gonna.
In another interview, Ilia stated that he does not think Islam is terrified of him, but rather that Islam is currently focused on other aims. Still, Ilia thinks a confrontation between them is extremely likely in the future, whether he goes up or Islam returns to lightweight. The fans will get the matchup they've been waiting for.
This was meant to be Islam, that was the big talk, but he moved up to welterweight. Do you believe he moved up to welterweight to avoid you, or because he has his own goals?
Because he has his own goals. This is what I think.
Do you still think that's a fight that should happen? You guys are both forging legacies in different weight divisions. Do you think that's a massive fight that should happen?
We'll see how he does in the welterweight division. If he wins the title, I win the title in the lightweight division. Maybe I move up or he comes down to the lightweight division, and we have the fight that everyone wants.
Furthermore, Arman Tsarukyan claimed that if Islam Makhachev had met Ilia at UFC 317, the fight would have resulted in a knockout. He was forthright in his appraisal, implying that the sport is about to experience significant changes. While Arman respects Islam and considers him to be in a different category, his main goal is to soar above everyone and claim the top spot in the world rankings.
What do you think would have happened if Ilia fought Islam this weekend?
Islam Makhachev.
He would have beaten him?
By TKO.
Oh, wow. Really?
No, I mean, that's a different level of fighters.
You think so? Wow.
You can't compare Ilia versus Islam.
Really? I have Ilia number one pound for pound now.
Yes, because Islam not champion anymore right now.
Right.
But when he gets the second title, he's gonna be pound for pound number one.
So you think he beats Jack?
He beats Jack.
Yeah.
Became a pound for pound number one. I'll be pound for pound number two, champion lightweight division, and then beat Islam and became a pound for pound number one.
Wow, I love it. You have it all.
Demetrius Johnson gave a detailed breakdown of the bout. He explained that as a southpaw, Islam Makhachev will most likely rely on body kicks, quick footwork, and fights to keep distance. He also stated that Islam may use his judo to take the battle to the ground and look for a submission.
Well, Islam's a southpaw, so he's gonna probably throw body kicks to keep his arms busy, keep the distance, move, feint, maybe use some judo to take him down and try to get him to the ground and try to submit him. But, you know, once again, like I have to see, you know, I have to see what Islam does to JDM.
Demetrius also mentioned that Ilia Topuria becomes quite deadly once he finds his striking range. If he does not land quickly, he will strive to make an opening, according to Demetrius. The key question is whether Islam can avoid the danger zone or select when and how to engage.
Oh, the one thing that's the factor is that Ilia is always going to focus on getting to the right spot and find his opponents. When he gets there, he's going to unload. If Ilia can't get there, then he's going to figure out another way to get there. So the question is, how does everybody avoid that sweet spot against Ilia? That's the question, because Ilia is going to fight in a 25-minute fight. That's what it comes down to. And then you go from like, hey, how does Islam keep Ilia away from that spot, or does Islam meet him there? Right? There's so much, you know, that goes into it, and my brain is all over the place. So for me to give like a clear-cut answer, I just, you know, I'm just like, I'm running around in a circle.
Beneil Dariush stated that he still likes Islam Makhachev in a battle versus Ilia Topuria due to his stature and ability to mix distance control with takedowns. He thinks that if Islam keeps to his kicks and wrestles intelligently, it will be a difficult fight for Ilia. Dariush, on the other hand, said that based on his observations, he wouldn't be surprised if Ilia landed a knockout shot.
I think it would still go the same. I think, you know, Islam has such a big size advantage, and if he, you know, distance kicks, takedown, rinse and repeat, if he continues to mix those things up, I think it would be a difficult fight for Ilia. But, you know, from what I saw, it wouldn't surprise me if he was able to put Makhachev's lights out too.
Corey Sandhagen thinks Ilia Topuria will beat Islam Makhachev. He noticed that Ilia's build will make takedowns tough for Islam, and that in a striking duel, Ilia has a clear advantage. Sandhagen further stated that Ilia has a good defense and does not think Islam can cause significant damage.
I honestly think Ilia would win that fight.
Let me get your breakdown of that fight.
I'm gonna actually go against, I think, what most people say, and I honestly think Ilia would win that fight. I think his like stature is gonna be hard to take down for Islam, and I think if those two are standing, I just think that Ilia is a way dangerous guy standing, and I just can't really see Islam like hurting him because his guard is real good, and I think Ilia will win.
Belal Muhammad claimed that Ilia Topuria demonstrated strong grappling against Charles Oliveira, but fighting Islam Makhachev would be at another level. He believes Islam's control, pressure, and wrestling will drive Ilia into the deep end and test his cardio, especially in the later rounds.
The fight everybody wants to see is in Islam. He showed that he does have wrestling defense. He defended Oliveira's takedowns on the ground. He passed his guard. He got to good positions on the ground. I know people are saying, oh, he got up from the ground, he didn't play the guard. It's like, he played the ground a little bit, then he got up, and then he knocked him out. So I don't know what you guys want. Everybody they're never satisfied, but I mean, he looked great. For me, when I look at that matchup and I break it down, I think Islam is very good with defense and with distance. If he's close, he's grappling. He's not staying in that brawling zone that Topuria loves. If he's within grabbing your range, he's grabbing you. And I don't care if Topuria is able to defend the first or second takedown, Islam's gonna keep you there. He's gonna push you on the cage. If I'm in Islam's corner, that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping him there, especially for the first, second, third round, trying to initiate that takedown. Oliveira got the body lock pretty early. Islam is really good there with the trips, with the body locks, with the single legs there. I think he would have continued grappling there, and it would have been a lot more interesting. It would have definitely got past the first round, and we would have seen how Topuria held up. He didn't really need to show his cardio.
Belal further stated that the conflict between Ilia and Islam is important and must be watched. He does not see it as a basic striker versus grappler matchup, adding that Islam has recently displayed strong hitting skills. He thinks Ilia will try to put pressure on Islam, keep him moving backward, and gain control of the cage where Islam is most uncomfortable.
I'm excited for it. If it does happen, I do think it needs to happen. Stylistically, I don't think it's grappler against striker. Islam showed his last couple fights that he is comfortable on the feet. He's fought the shorter guy in Volkanovski, and he played a little bit striking. Showed moments in that fight where he knocked him out with a head kick. And then the Dustin fight, he showed his boxing. He showed that he can hit on the feet. I think with Topuria, who does have really good grappling, really good wrestling, he's gonna want to push Islam backwards, keeping Islam on his back foot, keeping Islam's against the cage where he's uncomfortable, and he's really good with his feigning. He doesn't really throw a lot of...
Bello said that Islam uses his kicks wisely and avoids boxing range unless he's going for a takedown. He thinks both combatants are already in talks with the UFC about making the fight happen. Bello thinks Ilia is fairly regarded, citing his knockout victories over Holloway, Volkanovski, and Oliveira. He praised Ilia for living up to his words and winning respect.
The other side, Islam is really good with his kicks. If he mixes the kicks up low, body high, Islam's not going to be in that boxing range unless he's grabbing you. I'm sure both of them are on the call or are on the line right now talking to Hunter or Dana, and they're trying to work that fight. Is Topuria underrated or overrated? I mean, I think he's rated right? He's your last 3 wins, be a knockout of Holloway, who's never been knocked out before, to knock out Volk, who looked great at last fight, and then now just to knock out Oliveira at 155 upper weight class. I mean, how can you deny the guy? He talks and he says what he's gonna do and he does it. So you gotta respect him, you gotta give it to him. But yeah, I don't think he's underrated at all.
Bo Nickel placed Islam Makhachev as the current top pound-for-pound fighter, but admitted that Ilia Topuria is a real threat. He cited Volkanovski's good showing in his first battle with Islam as evidence that Topuria could compete both in grappling and overall.
He's the pound-for-pound number 1 right now, and I think he can win. And what makes me think that Ilia will do really well against Islam is that Volk's first fight with Islam, I'm like, man, Ilia's wrestling is way better than Volk's. And obviously you could see how the strike.
That's all for today's show. So, what are your thoughts about this? Please share your comments on this, and be sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also, check out our other videos, which are currently presented on the screen.